Hello, I'm Miss Hannah with the Wixom Public Library, and today I'm going to show you how to make our Day of the Dead embroidery, our little sugar skulls. So this is a bit advanced with the needle and the thread, but we'll walk you through it. I'm going to show you what's in your bag and what you will need at home that's not in your bag, and then we'll do the craft. In your bag, you should have another tiny little bag. Inside we'll have sequins, a needle, and a bunch of little felt pieces. They look a little like this. They're basically just felt flowers that we'll use for decoration and for the eyes and nose. You will have two big felt pieces. Yours might be a different color than mine, and you will have a roll of embroidery thread, which may be a different color than mine as well. That's what makes this all fun. You'll also have a bag of fluff. We've given you way more than you'll actually need. Feel free to use it for any other crafts that you have at home. You will also need some sort of glue to glue on the sequins. The Elmer's glue, the liquid glue, works just fine. If you have hot glue, that will dry faster. And you will need some scissors. All right, as always, message us or contact us if you have any questions, and let's get started. All right, so taking our two skull pieces, we're gonna take the first one, whichever one you wanna be the front, and then we are going to apply some eyes and a nose to it. I just took two different flowers and layered them on top, and it creates a kind of cool eyes there. So we're gonna start with the first one, and you're going to take off a bunch of embroidery thread. I used about the length of my arm, and cut it, and then thread the needle that you found in your bag. And you're going to hold these pieces, and we're going to put our needle through the back of the skull and up through the eyes. That's a bit big. So kind of near this hole, because it doesn't need to be very much. We're just kind of tacking it in place. So I'm gonna leave a string like this, and then I'm going to bring my needle to the back, and I'm actually gonna go through the little holes. And you're gonna pull it through, but not too hard and all the way, because then we're just gonna tie a knot. Gonna tie a knot so that will hold those felt pieces in place while we sew on the other things. So I just did a double knot, and then I'm gonna trim off the excess, and just like that. So now we're gonna do the same thing for the other eye. So go ahead and get that in position the way you want it. Kind of want mine to mirror the other one. Flip it over, line it up so that you get your needle through, pull it through, but not all the way, just leave a bit of a tail, and then go back through the hole. So it just tacks on and then ties, just like this. Do a double knot so it definitely stays in place, and then trim off the rest. And then we're gonna do the same to our nose. I took part of a flower that had a bunch of hearts around it, and I just cut one of those off. So now I have a heart, and I'm going to use that for my nose. We're just gonna do the same thing. Up, leave a bit of a tail, and then go back through and tie it off. And then once we've done that, we're gonna make our mouth, and that is going to be a little bit more stitchery. Go ahead, do that. So you can do your mouth in whatever shape you want, and I'm going to show you a stitch to do. We're just gonna do a straight line across. So we're going to bring our needle through the back, And we're gonna leave a little bit of a tail, and we're gonna hold it in place with our fingers on the back. We're gonna be very careful as we do this. And then you're going to go a little bit to the left, and that will create a stitch. And now, instead of coming up through this part again, we're going to come up a little bit this way, and then we'll go backwards. And then we'll do the same thing. So this is a back stitch. So we'll come up over here, and then we're gonna go right back into that stitch that we did. And it will create a line, and we'll just keep doing that. It doesn't matter how big your stitches are, it doesn't matter how small your stitches are. When they all work together, they make a line. Just like that. I think I've got room for 2 more stitches, and I think I'm gonna try to give my sugar skull a bit of a smile. So instead of going directly across here, I'm gonna come up a little here. Give him, or her, a bit of a smile. Just like that. And if that's all you wanna do, that's cool, but this is a skull. So we're going to come up here and then go down here and continue doing that over the stitches to create that skull effect. So to here and then down here. And then we're gonna keep doing that. Just wherever you feel that teeth should be. Oh. Doesn't matter how far apart they are, doesn't matter how long. It's a sugar skull. It's going to be beautiful. I think I'll do one more, and then I will show you how to tie off. So now that we're done, flip it over to the back, and eventually that one piece that we didn't tie off before should be tied off by doing all of that other stuff. If it's not, we'll use it to go through something, go under one of our stitches, and then go through the loop and make a knot. And we can do that again, so it's a double knot. So we'll go through, and then there's the loop, and we'll go through the loop, and that makes a knot. And then we'll cut off the excess. Now we're not going to glue on our sequins just yet. We'll do that last so everything can dry. Next, I'm gonna show you how to sew these two together. All right, so I've re-threaded my needle, and I'm going to teach you how to sew the 2 felt pieces together. So line them up, and we'll need to do the blanket stitch around them. So we're gonna open it up and start from the middle, kind of. We'll pull, not all the way through, we'll leave a little bit of a tail. We're not gonna really tie it off because we'll be going all the way around, and when we do reach up to that point, we'll stitch over it. So you'll keep that tail tucked in between the felt, and it should stay, so long as you don't pull too hard on this next bit. So you're going to push your needle through both pieces, and then you're gonna leave it there. We're gonna take this tail bit and bring it around and pull through. And this stitch is a blanket stitch. So put the needle in, bring the tail around, and pull through. And I'll do that one more time. Stick your needle through both pieces of felt and bring the tail and wrap it around and pull through. So this creates a nice finished edge stitch, and we're gonna do that all the way around until we get to probably this edge of the skull. That way we can stuff him. So we're going to do that next. Now that we've stitched all the way around our skull, we have a bit of an opening. So we can stuff our skull as much or as little as we want. You have tons of stuffing. It's not going to take all that stuffing to stuff your skull. Honestly, I think I'll probably just use this little bit right here. Not overstuff it like I did this guy. So once you get your stuffing in, you just have to hold the felt down and then continue doing your blanket stitch around the rest of the skull while holding the stuffing in. It shouldn't be too hard to do, but I mean, it is a little bit harder than just stitching the felt together as we did in the first part. And if you do run out of thread, you should be able to tie it off in a knot and then start again. I lost my thread here, but that's okay. Nope. Just have to re-thread the needle. Let's see. So yep, we're gonna go all the way around and then we will show you how to tie off. So we've reached almost where we started, so we're going to, in order to tie off, we're going to do one more stitch over the stitch that we did, and then we'll do it a second time to make sure that it's kind of pretty sealed. And then in order to tie off, just flip it to the back, slip your needle under some of the other stitches and make a knot. And you can do that twice to make a double knot, and it'll be twice as strong. And then snip off the rest. And now we can flip it over and glue on some sequins if we want. So you've got a bag full of sequins, like so many sequins. You can go ahead and pick whichever ones you want, or if you have other things at home that you want to decorate your skeleton, your sugar skull with, that's cool too. I found 2 matching sequins. Amazing. I don't know if that will happen for everyone, but I managed to find 2, and I'm going to use liquid glue, and then it'll take some time to dry. You don't need much. Boop. Boop. I figured that's good for the eyes. And then if you wanted, you could put some all over your skull or wherever you want, and then just let him dry. But that is our embroidery sugar skull. Thank you for joining us, and we would love to see your work. Thank you.